Thank you so much for tuning in. This is yet another edition of Megan's Opinion. I am Megan McGlover. First of all, I want to say to all the people in the South and in the Midwest who are suffering through some of this horrific weather, I want to just say to you that we are praying for you, and I'm sending you positive energy. Just tucker down, get into a safe place, and just try to ride this thing out. Keep careful, as I say, keep careful. Now, I want to give my opinion on this NBA situation with Sterling making his comments, etc., etc. First of all, the NBA got caught. So the NBA had to ban this man. The NBA realizes how valuable you and I are, even though you may not realize how valuable you are. The NBA realizes how valuable their fans are, and they had no other choice but to ban this man for life. Now, let's remember that this man is 80 years old, so his life is pretty much almost over as it is. He has already traveled all over the world in his private jets. He's lived his life. So whoop-de-doo, he won't be able to go to any more NBA games. Now he can go to NFL games, okay? So him being banned for life was something that the NBA had to do in order to sustain some type of image to the minorities in this country and all over the world, okay? So you sacrifice one man for the vitality of the entire organization. Whoop-de-doo, okay? They don't care. 2.5 million, I hope that they give the girl who taped him the 2.5 million, because obviously she's the only one with some decent amount of testicles around here, okay? Give her the 2.5 million because she deserves it. They got caught because Sterling is a known racist. This man has been, if you look at any reports, you look at all the different interviews that's been going on for the last 48 hours, everybody has said, anybody in the NBA, any and everybody in the NBA knows that Sterling is a known racist. He's not one of those racists that keep everything, quiet. He is the kind of racist that tells you flat out, this is how I feel. Don't bring no blacks and Hispanics to my games. This is the kind of racist he is. So now people are looking at the NBA saying, why didn't you do something with this guy before? What took you so long, to actually reprimand this man? So now they're caught with their hands in the cookie jar, and so they had to do something. Okay, so let's just you can stop patting the NBA on the back because they actually had to do that. Okay, this is about business. Okay, as it pertains to the Clippers, I just went to my first and last Clippers game a couple of days ago. A few days ago, Jay took me to the game. I had a wonderful time. I will never go back. Let me tell you why. Because the Clippers, 1, 2, 3, somebody should have said, I'm not going to play. I'm not going to play until this man is either kicked out of the NBA or whatever. If you had done that, you only would have sat out one game. As it pertains to their contract would not allow for them to be terminated for sitting out one game. You can say, I hurt my knee, I hurt my ankle, I hurt my toe. I cannot play this game. You can make up whatever excuse you want. But, of course, we would have known that you were standing up for the principle and for the cause, okay? So, if Blake Griffin, there is no Clippers without Blake Griffin. If Blake Griffin had said, I'm not going to play. If Chris Paul had said, I'm not going to play, they are not going to terminate them, okay? We're not talking about somebody that works at Walmart. We're talking about NBA players. If somebody from the Warriors, if somebody from the Bulls, if somebody from the Heat, if somebody had just stood up and said, I'm not going to play, then I would have been able to respect them. This is about the principle of the thing. Our ancestors are turning over in their graves right now. Whether it's Cesar Chavez or whether it's Martin Luther King, they're turning over in their graves right now because you people do not stand up for principle, and you wonder why the children that are running around out on the streets are half-ass naked and have no morals, because their parents are not standing up for what is right. You are standing up for your money. Now, let's remember that people like, let's say, Chris Paul, who I actually like Chris Paul, but let's just say Chris Paul has millions of dollars already in the bank. So if he doesn't play another game, in the NBA, he's still set for life. Do you realize that? While you are defending these people saying, well, they're under contract. No, what they are is house Negroes. That's what they are. They're house Negroes. And just like how Beyonce doesn't comb her child's hair because she doesn't have to, Blue Ivy will never work at Target. Okay, so she don't never have to comb her hair if she don't want to. If she wanted to walk around with BDBs on her head for the rest of her life, she has that right because she'll never work at Target. So what these NBA boys, what they did is they told me, we don't care about your children. We don't care about what's going on outside of this little court because our children will never have to deal with this level of discrimination. They will never have to really deal with going out and getting a job for equal pay, or going out and actually even getting an interview being black or being Hispanic, or actually having to deal with driving while black and being racially profiled. They don't have to deal with that. So because they don't have to deal with that, and because I'm a house Negro, I don't care about the Negroes in the field. Just like Harriet Tubman said, I could have freed more slaves if they knew they were slaves. You are slaves, just like Kanye West said in his song, Slaves. You are slaves. That's all this is. It does not make any sense. I bet you if there was a majority of Jews who were playing and they said some kind of racial comment about the Jews, I bet you every dime that I have that the Jews would have sat out. Okay? This is the truth. Now, as far as it pertains to the NAACP, I'm going to read this quote here because I'm very, very upset. This is from Jenkins, the NAACP president. Okay? He said, Mr. Sterling has given out a tremendous amount of scholarships. He has invited numerous African-American kids to summer camps and donated to big sports franchise. This is something that shows that there is a consciousness of the plight of African-Americans in this country, Jenkins says. God teaches us to forgive, and the way I look at it, after a sustained period of proof to the African-American community that those words don't reflect his heart, I think there's room for forgiveness. I wouldn't be a Christian if I said there wasn't, Jenkins said. Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Jenkins from the NAACP. Everything does not have something to do with Jesus. See, this is your Christian's problem. Your problem is you don't understand the difference between something you pray about and something you do something about. When you are 100 pounds overweight, you don't just sit there and pray that you wake up in the morning skinny. You have to get your behind up, go to the gym, work on your regimen, change the way that you eat, change the people that you hang out with, and change your entire lifestyle so that you can get a result. This has nothing to do with biblical or Christian or Jesus or God type of forgiveness. This has something to do with action, and that, my dear friend, is your problem. You have been bamboozled like all the rest of the people. It does not make any sense to sit up here and say that I would not be a Christian if I didn't forgive Sterling. This has nothing to do with forgiveness. Of course, you want to forgive Sterling, that's fine. I forgive him too, because people are racist. It's no big deal. We've known this since as long as the United States has been a country. People are racist. That's no problem. But when it affects you to this degree and you actually can do something about it, this is not the time to bring up God and bring up Jesus. This is the time to stick by your principles. But you're the same people, NAACP, that did not stand up when Trayvon Martin was murdered. You're the same people. We can't count on you for nothing. We cannot count on the NAACP for nothing. But to sit up there and be the yes man and to make it look like the Negroes are sticking together to do something. You ain't stuck together to do a damn thing to help nobody. You can sit up there and say to me all day long that Jesus said to turn the other cheek. You can also say that there has been no temptation that Jesus has not befallen and all this other kind of old thing if you want to. I will say to you this. There was no basketball team in Jerusalem. So don't tell me about, oh, well, we need to forgive and forget and all this other stuff. That's your problem. While you're sitting there praying and waiting for the second advent of Jesus Christ, you are being rolled over. Your children are being rolled over while you sit there and forgive. Keep on forgiving. You keep on forgiving. While your heritage is being lynched, you keep on forgiving. This is ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. All I'm saying is, like I tweeted on my Twitter, all I'm saying is this. If there were women on the Clippers teams, if it was the LA Sparks, they would have sat out. I love you long and I love you strong. And I'm out. Peace. Where's the button?